Hi, and welcome to Midwest Bramble. I'm River, and today we are doing day 3 of Ivy the Occultist's 12 Days of Yule Challenge. That entails sharing or like reflecting on our last year of practice, and almost all my practice is recorded in my bullet journals, so I thought it would be a fun video to just kind of have you guys go through my journals with me and we can look at what exactly is going on. Some of this stuff is a little more personal. I did have a baby in June, so there'll be some things that I'll cover up along the way. So I do remember getting this book a little late. My bullet journals are not super fancy. I do have a word for the year, and a future log, the moon's goals, planting calendar, and order tracker. Whoops. Cover up those. I don't really want my children on the internet. So January, I didn't get this. Woo! I didn't get this until, honestly, the new moon. And then my kind of new moon reflection type stuff. I changed this a little bit, just kind of looking at the lunation, the astrology, and the oracle card that I drew with that, and then plans that I make based on those things. And I got that idea from Jessica and the moon. And this will be February. So my plans for the full moon in February, and then different things I was going to do for celebrating Groundhog's Day, maple sugaring starting, and shedding season also starting. Shedding season being the time when the male deer shed their antlers. Some research on the hazel tree. I was going through and kind of working with elements in my landscape. So this is just some notes on water, local bodies of water that I can walk to, what happened when I was connecting with the water spirits, or the spirits of those bodies of water. Again, a new moon. And then this gets more filled out, but like kind of just taking stock of things, reviewing things, really noticing what's going on in the landscape during different seasons. And this is a poem from Under the Bramble Arch by Corinne Boyer. It's a wonderful book on plants. So this is just what I was noticing in my garden, what I was doing, and then things that are outside of my garden but are still part of nature. Here's March. Again, moon stuff, plans for the spring equinox. There's a saying that March comes in like a lion and out like a lamb. Oh, and I keep track of my dreams. Research on hawthorn. And then I was working with fire that month. More dreams. And then I was reflecting on my ethics, like is seen in Calden's The Crooked Path. And then this is how the sun looks in my backyard. So this is the brightest spots, where it gets the most sunshine throughout the day. And that had to do with my fire work. My spring ritual for the equinox, and then this is more new moon stuff. And a little bit more decorative here. Moon stuff, and then I did Ritual for Earth Day, Hexennacht, and then May Day. We do have May Day celebrations here. They're kind of starting to die off, but I always really enjoyed them as a child, so I'm bringing them back for my kid. I don't care if nobody else does them. And then again, my dreams. Queen Anne's lace notes. And then I was working with air, so I was paying attention to the wind patterns throughout the week. More dreams. Oh, and then this is when I started Jessica in the Moon's membership. There's the continuation of my garden and nature log, new moon stuff. Tried to get a little more decorative with it. Just a quick drawing of what I think my fetch looks like. Again, Jessica in the Moon stuff. I hadn't decided how I was going to incorporate that in here yet. And then they were working with Isis. I just kind of decided I was just going to look into cultures and how people would worship and work with these deities. Ooh, sorry about that one. Wow. Okay. So there's the moon again, and this is the new moon. And then on this page, I have like the last frost, what I wanted to do when the lilacs bloomed on Mother's Day, and then I was going to do something for Memorial Day, but I think I just got really busy and pregnant. And then my first impressions and research on Diana. Dreams. Teasel. Notes on the higher self. And then my notes on working with earth and ley lines. This is more Jessica in the Moon stuff with her prompts. This is my Mother's Day ritual. Oh, I should have covered that if it has ancestor names. Notes on the middle world. Then I have new moon again. Dreams, and then my plans and things. This is kind of built up by Jessica in the Moon's membership. More garden and nature stuff. And then we have summer. So I did a collage for summer. And again, this is from the same book as spring. And then this is taken from Baron Getchell. I believe she's still going by that name here on YouTube. This is the check-in that she was sort of doing. I just kind of changed it a bit. So this is my 8th house, my 9th house, and my 10th house. And then I kind of just graded myself on how I felt I was in those areas, and then kind of journaled about it and what I could do. My card for this year was the Justice card, so I did some reflecting on that. This year's Time Lord is Venus, so I kind of looked at what was going to be happening over the summer with Venus, and then my word for the year. And then we have more gardening and nature logs. Pictures. I believe June is the last month in this book. So yeah, there's my full moon stuff again, my new moon. Then Father's Day, did something very similar as Mother's Day, and then my plans for the summer solstice. And then Lakshmi, I wanted to do some very thorough research since she's a Hindu goddess. Dreams. The shooting star flower. Ritual for how to meet your land spirits. And then Diana. Dreams. Then my Father's Day ritual, new moon, my summer solstice ritual and how to communicate with plants. So this is kind of like stuff I realized wasn't in my grimoire and I wanted it to be, and I always put things in here first. So I was just kind of writing out how I communicate them. Then animal spirits. And then my last single action. Okay, so this is part of this next year. It's gotten dirty since I last used it. Again, and then this is to represent the Justice card. Future log. Moon phases, gardening, and I garden by the moon, and I happened to find this, so I stuck it in there. And then again, this is from Baron Getchell, so I decided to add that in this time. It's July, so I already have my baby. Things might peter off a little bit here. So this is the storm moon, Cancer new moon, and then I was going to do something for the Monarch Festival that happens in July, but I obviously did not get to it. Then we were working with, I was learning about Venus dreams. And then I decided to do my monthly tarot in here. And then just kind of working with like cycles and things. We have coneflower notes or echinacea. Oh, sorry about that. I had a phone call. And then more garden log notes. Nature notes coming over, how I work with house spirits and some notes on them, more Jessica and the moon stuff, this continuation of the house spirits, new moon stuff again. Then I decided to start doing taking some pictures of the tarot I pull. This is my notes on the Witch King. And then how I made my stang. Last stuff with Venus. Full moon, new moon, and then there was a blue moon. Then we had the Sweet Corn Festival, the first leaf falling. Oh yeah, it's getting more and more expensive to go to some of these festivals. And then a lot of notes on Green Tara, dreams, monthly tarot. Tried to do some meal planning stuff. Bone set notes. Oh, and this is for work. That's work notes. And then I got a book on the compass, the Witch Compass, and I was starting to work through that. So I didn't get through it. So I will probably be restarting that in the new year. I finished reading, I just didn't finish the exercises. Then how I went about meeting the Witch King. And the new moon. And then notes on the lower world. I think this is where I kind of started to peter off with some of this stuff, because we were trying to figure out our schedule with a new baby and a 3-year-old. Well, 2 at this point. Stuff. Oh, and then notes on Lilith. Again, something I want to be very careful with and respectful. not because of Lilith herself, but because of the culture in which she comes from. Meeting the ancestors. That one I was very, very thorough with, so maybe this isn't where it started to peter off. And then autumn. And again, the stuff. And I decided, like, this is Virgo, Libra, and Scorpio, so where I am, something there. Garden Wands and Nature. Alright, I just skipped over the cover page for September because the paper covering the photos started to slip. Okay, so we have the Virgo new moon and the harvest moon. I always really liked the little folklore around the jade rabbit. And so I put that there. I thought that was really cute. Then Apple Fest, Apfel Fest, which is a local festival, and then the autumn equinox. Oh, and then dreams again, monthly tarot. Wild strawberries. I thought I was gonna have more notes. And then more stuff for ancestors. New moon. And then familiars. And I think this is where we start to peter off here. Dreams. More familiar stuff. And that's familiar spirits. And then the last thing for Lilith. And I still need to put the photos for October on, so we should be good. Libra, and then the full moon in October. Then we had the first frost and Halloween. Monthly tarot. The witch hazel. And like we're learning about Spider-Woman, and I had a good time really learning about the native peoples around where I live. And that was kind of more of my focus with her, was learning about the indigenous peoples. I don't want to say which ones because that kind of gives a little bit away of where I am. So I didn't do a whole lot of what I normally do, simply because I had a lot going on in my family life. Oh, this never got stuck down. Oops. And then we move on to my current journal. This is what I keep my current journal in. Just dressed this one up a little bit more, not a whole lot. So this moon, and then Thanksgiving. St. John's wort. A new moon rite that I've been doing other than this. Right, we're working with Persephone. I don't know how much else is in here. Persephone. Oh yes, and then my yearly review I do at the end of November, because it's kind of where I started my very first one, so it's just been doing it this way, and it's right before winter. So I kind of go through and I go back over what was going on in the different seasons, spells that I've been doing, dreams, highlights, and goals that I feel like I accomplished. I'm not going to talk about too much about the spells I've been doing because they're still ongoing. And here's winter. I still need to fill these out. Of course, there's not much going on in my garden. So this is the moon coming up. This is the month we're in. Oh, excuse me. The first snow, winter solstice, and then Yuletide. Ella campaign. This past new moon, and I changed oracles. And if you saw my video yesterday about my altar, you'll see that. This is our challenge. And that's where we are today. So I was doing a lot more at the beginning of the year. I think I have a lot of really good information, and I was doing a lot of really good things. I'll probably start that again in the new year as well. So yeah, this past year I did a lot more than I remembered. I'm just not doing a whole ton right now because of the holidays. So this was fun to do. I hope you enjoyed looking through my journals. I kind of want to get more decorative with them next year, so we'll see how that goes. And you have a good rest of your day. Check out the other videos for today, and we'll see you next time. Bye.